3 minutes to go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third and the last Android Study Jam. Okay, I guess I'm audible. So I leave the stage to Aman now. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Let's begin.
Yeah. Sure.
So yeah, welcome guys. So I'm hoping that I'm audible and visible both. So this is our third session for Android Study Jam. So until now, we have created our app. In first session, we have learned an basis of Kotlin and one app built, and in the in the last session we were building up this app. Yeah, a second. Uh, yeah, so we are building up this app, but this app is not completed yet. So let's complete this app today. Right, this is our main agenda. Right, and one more little thing to add up is that in the new to programming track, there's a new unit is added called navigation. So check this out. Right. So okay, let's begin with our app. So this is where we left in the last session, right? So whatever we have done till now is that we are loading in this recycler view. We can see it here. In this recycler view, we are getting in the genres, right? So whenever we are clicking on this genres, and so we are forwarded to a new activity, and in that activity we just until now we are just toasting the genre that we are clicking in. So today what will we do is that when we click on the genre, we will try to add the different kind of the OTTs that are available in that genre, and also we will implement this search feature, right? So yeah, okay, let's do that. So in here, we can check out this code, right? We are implementing here the on click of that recycler view, right, in the main activity. So whenever we are clicking it, we are just starting a new activity called details, and in that we are putting a new, like we are putting a string through it, the genre. Okay. So yeah, so in that activity that we have created in the last session, we are just toasting it out, right? So today we will complete this activity. So let's first open the layout for that activity, which is a blank screen for now. So in that we can we will just have a recycler view, right? In that recycler view we will try to um, load all the OTTs available in that genre and of the search, right? So first thing we need to do here is like we just bring this recycler view in, right, and constrain it, and next up uh, we need to give this recycler view ID for letter purposes, right? So in here we can just say it as details RV, right? So okay, we have provided this ID, and we've seen in the last session that recycler view needs a card type of thing to display it on. So now we have to create a card for this thing, right? So go to the layout, go to the new and a new resources file, okay, and just name it as uh, details card view, okay. Click on OK, right? So a new, okay, we will want to add this to the git as we have already connected the VCS, right? So this is the view that we want to display each OTT in, right? So first thing we need to change the root layout to the card view, right? After changing that, we need first of all an image. Let's see what we have when we search genre, right? So let's go to our Rapid API to find that thing out. So rapidapi.com, in the marketplace section, it is loading in. Okay, so go here and search for OTT details, right? Yeah. So this was the API that we were using. So let it load first. Yeah, right. So we're using it in Kotlin, okay, SVP, right? So we want to implement today the this search and this advanced search feature, right? So in advanced search, what we will do is like you can see, we can search by multiple, you can say multiple parameters, right? So in here we will try and implement only the minimum IMDb, maximum IMDb genre, and we will just use the sort and page. That's it. When we'll do that, we will get a JSON object, right? In this JSON object, and in it have a result array. In the result array, we can see here, maybe small here. Okay, so in the result array, we will have a title, right? A title and synopsis, IMDb rating. You can have a multiple type of things, and in here we have a image URL array, right? In this array we have a URL in which the title, cover of that OTT, image of that is stored in this URL. So we will try to fetch this JPG object and display it in our app. Also we will use this title and minimum like IMDb ratings, right? We'll use these three things. You can always use other things, right? So yeah, that's it. So let's try now implement. So let's first try and build a card where we will so image, text view for title and for IMDb ratings, right? This will also be a text view. So in here, uh, this card view. First of all, you can have multiple things, but I will use constant layout. because that's I think is the easiest I can found. Match parent and gifting like this. Okay. So in that constant layout, we will just wanna add one image. So you can go to the component tree, and inside that constant layout, we can add this image and choose this avatar thing and say okay, right? Uh, we will do that later on. It's constraining thing. We need a text view for that. Just bring this in, put it over here, and one more text view for IMDb ratings. This will be for just give it the idea as title text view, right? And refactor this thing. And in here we will just say it as IMDb text view, right? Refactor. Now in this card we wanna just like constraint thing uh, in the top, and for the height I wanna just give it as a, you can say, a fixed height, like you can say 500 dB. Okay, so this will be like this height, and for the width I can go with the wrapping the constant. So this will be like this, and the image will be like entire this thing. We will just crop and add other things, right? We'll think about that later on. And next up we have two text views, right? So for the text view, what I want to do is like this is a title text view, so bring it here and bring it here and constrain this to uh, below the image view, right? Like this. And again for the IMDb, it will be like below this title view, right? This will be it. And also we can have a bit of margin thing over here, layout margin at 15. This will just like give a margin from entire thing that will help us, like we can then just make a card view bit circular. So we can go and type search for radius, yeah, card corner radius, right? So we can give it as 8 pp, right? So this thing will like just clip the card in around. So that's okay. Next we will like to increase the text size of the title. Okay, so we can do it in the code as well. Like come here, replace this Android with tools so that it will be just like shown in here, but not in the app. It will be just for development purposes. This text, so just leave it like that. And in here also Android two tools, right? And you wanna increase its size, so write text size and give it as like 18 sp, right? And you can also add a style in here like bold and color, like text color to be black, right? So this will make this look like this. And we also want a bit of margin from above, so we can just add a 15 margin, right? And copy the entire same properties from this title view to the text view, right, containing IMDb. So that is it. We have created this card, right, and this will look cool, I guess, right. This will be it. And next up, we know that for the recycler view to know that this card view, how this card view will be filled in, we need a adapter. We have created that one adapter in the previous session, right? So this will be an easy task. So just create a Kotlin file, name it as details recycler view adapter, right, and add to the git. Okay. And next up, we need this adapter to uh, extend our recycler, okay, recycler view dot adapter will give us an error, and we know we need to implement a view holder for that. So go and create one class and name it as details recycler view details view holder. We can just write this like this, details view holder, and in this like a constructor thing, we can just pass one item view of type view, and in here this will also extend our recycler view dot view holder, right, and this view holder needs a item view. So this will be our view holder, and now we will pass this view holder to the our adapter, right. Just write uh, details view holder. This will give us error, and this will tell us to implement the members. So we will just implement all the members in this. And this error can be gone by this. Like, okay, we don't need a parameter for now. Uh, and next thing that we know that we need a list that will contain our data of whatever coming in, like whatever thing we need to show that we need a private well list of type array list, and in this we need to pass the type of data we wanna load. So for that we need another class, right. So go to new and Kotlin class, choose the data class and name it as details data class. Okay, so also we also wanna add this to the git. So in here we need to pass, like we need three things, right. First is the URL for our mm, image of the title, and next we have title itself and the IMDb rating. So for that we need to create three variables in here, right. So first name it as URL, and this will be a string, right. Next we want title, and this will also be a string, and next we need a IMDb rating, and this will also be a string, right. So this we created this data class, and now pass this data class in here. So details data class this one, right. Now we have a list in here. So for this count item, just return the list dot size, right? So this will complete this method, and now we want to implement those two methods, right? So for that, in first let's fill our view holder, right? In this thing, uh, we want to find the views from where it is, so we can just that is well image view, and which is a image view, right? And this will be item view dot find UID. So we can actually in Kotlin there's like uh, dependency, right? I'm not using it right now, so it's called like a uh, Kotlin like something Kotlin properties like that. Whenever you use that thing, then you don't have to write find view by ID itself that imports the entire view that you want to use, and it will just use that thing up. So that's quite handy, and like you do not have to cast that view into another. Like you change one place and that's done. So you can just find that thing up. That's simple thing. So now whatever we I what let's find the IDs, right? For that we have just written it as image view, and for that title and IMDb, right? So r dot id dot image view, right? And next up we have val title, which will be a text view, right? I can find item ID dot find view by ID, and then here r dot id title text view, right? And last up we have IMDb ratings, right? IMDb, which will be again a text view, and we will find this as item view dot find IMDb text view, right? So this will be it from the view holder, right? Next up we wanna fill this function. It's called on create view holder. So in here we wanna just uh, inflate the view that we want to display. So we can do it like return. Uh, we have details view holder, right? Details view holder, and in this view holder we want to add a view. So for that we will use a layout inflator dot from. In here I need a context. For that I will use the parent context, parent dot context. Next we want to use inflate. In that we wanna use the layout that we wanna just inflate, and that's called details card view. So r dot layout dot details card view. And next we have root. So root will be parent, right? And attached to boolean will be false. So this will simply create our view holder. And last thing we have here is the bind view holder. So for that we need to just create the current item and all stuff. So just do it like rent item. Current item will be list, and we have position from its constructor, right? So and then we'll use the holder dot image view, and in this image view we will just do it later that for inflating the image we need another dependency called Picasso that uses this task. So let's go to Chrome again, and in here just write Picasso dependency, and You go to the GitHub page, dependency. Okay. Have GitHub. So yeah, this is the dependency that we are looking for. Just copy this thing and go to our app label gradle, right? And in here below the OK HTTP, just implement this thing and hit sync now. So this will download the required files, right? Wait for the Gradle to configure, right? Till that, okay. So yeah, that's good. Uh, so yeah, we have finished our Gradle, right? In here, go to again the cycle view adapter, and we have a current item, so we need to use the Picasso. I guess we have it now, right? You see this Picasso is added. Dot get dot load, and here we wanna pass the URL of that image. So for that URL, we can just use the current item dot URL, right? So this will get the URL and where we wanna get this thing. So we will use into, and into we will use our holder dot image view, right? So we will implement this into image view, right? So that will be it. This will just simply download our image from the URL and inflate that thing into the image view that we want. Next, we have title and IMDb details. For that, we can just simply use the holder dot title dot text, right? In that text, we can just pass current item dot title, right? And for the same for the IMDb thing, holder dot IMDb dot text, and we will get it as current item dot IMDb rating. So that's it from the adapter, right? Adapter is ready. We don't want to implement any click listeners in here. We just want to display that thing, so we are not doing that thing. So okay, in here what we have. So we have this adapter, and now we want to like fetch all the data and fill this array list, right? So for that, we can just go to our details class, right? And remove this toast thing. And but we want this genre, right, to getting in. And another thing that we want to implement that search, right? So for the search and this genre, we are using the same details activity for both of the things. But the thing is here that in our documentation, we will have a different URLs for that, right? So what can we do? Just like whenever we are calling this function, we will define a type, that what type of call it is. It is it by genre or like a search thing, right? So for that, we can just do it in our main activity from where we are calling it in. So we can add another intent in here. In that intent dot put extra, and we'll add an extra called type, and we will pass this type as one, right? This is the first type that we want to implement, and we also want to implement the on click listener for our this button. Okay, so what ID we have? We have a button, right? So go to main activity, and here after the callback thing, where it is in it. right here. So after this callback thing, we can just create new variable, say it as button. So it is a button, and we wanna just find its view by ID, and it's also called button. So, but with small b. So that's it. We find that button, and after that button, we're gonna add the on-click listener for that, like this one. In this on-click listener, we also wanna like start the same intent, right? So we can just copy this code, right, and paste it over here. But the difference is that we don't have this string because we are not passing the genre, right? We can just keep this name for simplicity, but we want to have a string. So what that string will be? So that string will be our uh, what will be that? Our like whatever is in the this edit text thing, right? You can just name this thing. You can just add like search edit text, right? Enter, refactor this thing, and now we want to access the string whatever in here in this button. So right, go over here. As for simplicity, we are again using the string. Inside this on click, just create a value name and string, which will be a string. And after that, for inflating this thing, we can just create another variable, say well edit text, right? This will be edit text, and we will find this by our dot id dot search edit text, right? And yeah, in here we can just find this edit text dot text dot to string thing, right? So we have this string and we are passing it in, but we wanna change the type in here that we can differentiate later on. So that's it. We have successfully just implemented the search thing, right? Now in this detail, what we're gonna do that we're gonna access two variables that we are passing through the intent, right? So for that we need again two variables. So we can just take a var that because the string that we are getting we wanna just format that thing out, so that will be a variable thing. So var string, say which will be again a string, and we are getting it from a intent, and dot get string extra, and what name we are using there is in genre. Okay, so we'll just copy this thing and come over here and just paste this thing. So this will give us an error that found string, found that thing. Okay, so for that we can like, but it's the error. Okay, so actually this is a nullable string, so we want to pass this question mark that it can be null, right? So next up we need a value of type, right? Of this type, and this will be just like intent dot get what extra. This will be like what we are passing. We are passing in value. This will be in form of a integer, right? So we can just go get int extra, right? And the int extra we will just write type, and it asks for a default value, so we can pass 0 for like that. If there is no type in available, so it will get 0. That's it. So now we want to like have a mm, have a like if s block, right? That will just check for the type first of all type, and if the type is one, that means this is what it is. What we are passing for one is that it is a uh, like yeah, genre click, right? So we don't need to like change much in the string genre string, okay, but we can create a variable, say send a string, and this string will just contain the string that we want to pass. So for that genre thing, we can have it like send string, and now go to our OTT page, right? And for genre, we will be using this advanced search method. So copy this URL, right? Successfully copied it and go to our another studio and paste this thing, right? So in here, what can we remove is like the years. We don't want a constant in that. IMDb rating is like okay, just increase it to 8.8, and with the genre thing, right? The main thing is that we can also remove the language, and also the type we can remove it, right? Now we have this genre, but it's written action, so we wanna pass our genre that is clicked. So just remove this action from here and use a dollar sign, right? And pass the string. So yeah, that's it. That is the string that we wanna search when genre is clicked. And we have another option else if you can say the type is second type, that is our search type, right? In that case, we want to use like this search option, right? So it get another like this thing, right? So copy this and can again send a string will be like this, right? And again the title will not end game, that will be whatever we just get. So but that thing we need to just like change a bit of thing in the string, that like someone types a space, so we cannot just search space in here. So for that we want to just like format the string that we are getting in. For that, if that is the case, so we will do it like that. First of all, that we want to uh, trim this thing. So what trim will do, like if there is any, okay, so we can have a null string over here, like do it like that. So trim will do that if there is any extra spaces in front or in back of the string, it will just trim that thing, right? And next we want to replace this thing, that is space with plus, right? So this will just replace the spaces with the plus thing. Again can be null. And last up, we want to just use the two lower option. So this will just make this string a lower string. And now in the title, we can pass our string. So that will be it. So these are two URLs that we were using in for search. Right now the things are simpler. We just need to create a HTTP request and load the data in, right? So for making that thing, we can actually create a, you can say, a function, right? So say search, and in there you want to pass this send string, right? So click here, this bulb thing, create a function search. This will create us for us it for us, right? So yeah, in the search function we again want to build a URL like request. So copy this thing, that will create a URL request, right? HTTP request, and in the URL replace this URL with the string we are getting at send string, right? Now we need to import these things. So just alt plus enter, right? Okay, so we have it, and now we want to call this thing. So for that we have a client. So use the client dot new call, and in here we pass the request. We want to include this, that it will get in the background thread, right? And we want to have a callback object, right? So just write object, and this will be a callback object, right? It will tell us to like implement its members. So just implement those things, right? In the failure we don't want to do much. We just want to print the stack trace, right? And but in the response we want to do something. What we want to do, that we want to fill that array. So for that we need a array, right? So we can go above the on create thing and just write a val, not cal, it's val list, and this will be array list of type whatever created. We have created a class for that called detail data class, right? And in here it will be a array list, right? So this will create a list for us, blank list, you can say. So whenever our call is completed, we will have a, like we will have a response, right? So we want to do something with this response. So what we will do, that we will create a val, and this is a JSON object, right? So we can have a JSON object, and this will be like from the JSON object, and in here we want to pass response dot response dot body, right? Can be null, so like body dot string, right? And if it is null, we just want to pass like empty, like an empty JSON file, right? So that will be it. And from this JSON object we want to get a JSON array that is named as, what is name of it, results, right? So create another value, say JSON array, right? And this be from JSON object dot get JSON array, and name this as results, right? And now we want to get our, like fill our list from this JSON array. For that we need our for loop. So for I in 0, we are doing it like that because JSON array is not a traversable thing. Like we have to do it like that. It cannot be converted into a traversal, right? JSON array dot you can just like the dot length, right? Dot length. All right. So this will create a for loop, and in this for loop, we want to get few of the things, right? First of First of all, we want to have a new JSON object, say J object, and this will be like JSON object dot get get or get JSON object, right? And name of this uh, get JSON object at like position I, we can say. When there's an issue, I guess get JSON object JSON. Okay, that's not object, that's array, right? So yeah, that will be it. So JSON object, we have the current JSON object that is traversing, and from that JSON object we want to have like title, and in this title we can just add a J object, uh, J object dot get title, right? Uh, Next we can have a value of, we can, okay, so here's the thing, like when I was trying to get the IMDb ratings for few of the titles, IMDb rating is not available. So like it's not in even in the JSON file. So it creates a like JSON exception, right? So we can do it like we can add a try catch for that. So just write where IMDb ratings will be like uh, mm, any, right? And in here you can just add IMDb ratings is equals to try catch. Try also have a catch. So you're gonna catch JSON object exception, right? So just write JSON exception, right? So when there is an exception, we just wanna pass this string as zero. That will just like zero IMDb rating if not available. Then next we can, if it is available, so we will get it from J object dot get, and it will get us IMDb rating, right? It's not a string. It will be a string like this, right? That's it. And next we want to have the image URL, right? So the same goes for the image, right? Image is also sometimes not available. So okay, like that, you can have a URL, and again URL is equals to try and catch thing, and in here we can write the JSON exception. If there is JSON exception, we wanna just I just like wanna add this image if there is no image available. So I just put the link in here so that you can check this out. But I'll do Android dev using Java. I have been following the tutorials on Udacity. Okay, so I switch to Kotlin now, or can I do it later? Also, how long will it take to make a switch? Right. So the switching thing. Uh, I will suggest you that you know Android development Java. So Kotlin is like the next thing in native Android development, right? So it's better to switch into Kotlin, right? So you can do it now or later as you wish, but switching now will be from my side is great thing, right? And for the time, so switching will take a bit of time. I can say like you can mm, 2 weeks. I can say right 2 weeks. Just follow this uh, thing. You will get to the like get easily with the Kotlin, right? So 2 days is enough time, right? So that's from my side, right? So we wanna use this URL when we don't have a URL, right? So in that thing, we just wanna use this URL when there is no URL, and when there is a URL, we will have that URL, right? So we can just do it as JSON object dot. Well, the URL is not in the JSON object. It is in the form of JSON array, that we can see it over here. That the image URL is actually a JSON array. That yeah, and we want to just add read the first image if available, right? So we want to get we have to get a again a JSON array, we can say, and that will be like from object dot get JSON array, and the name of the JSON array will be uh, image URL, right? So yeah, and in here now we have our JSON array, so we can just like do it as like array dot get, right? Get, yeah, right, get at the 0th index, that means the first index, and to the string format, right? So this will load our URL thing, right? If not, this URL will be loaded. So yeah, that's pretty much of it. And the last thing we're gonna do is like after we have all these variables, we wanna put in into our list, right, for loading. So for that, we can create a value of like a say object is I think called say item, and this will be a detailed data class, right? This data class we wanna first add a string. So for that we have URL, right, which is a string, like this. And next we want to have a title, so we have title as title, right? Great, not that thing. And last we wanna write title is giving us like that it's any and it want a string, so just use this thing that it will convert it to a string. And next we have what we have IMDb rating. So right, so for that also to IMDb rating, well, yeah, that's it, I guess. IMDb rating, right? And it's also we wanna change it to a string. Also we can add in here like to a string, that it will convert into a string, right? So we have this thing, title is already a string, so this is redundant, so we can remove this thing, right? And with this item we wanna like fill up our list. So just list dot add this item, right? So this will fill our list, right? So after filling the list, what we're gonna do is like we want to send this all things to the recycler view and then display our recycler view, right? So recycler view is like on the main thread and we are doing all this thing in the second thread, like back thread you can say. So we want to run this on UI thread again. Run on UI thread. So in UI thread, what we wanna do is like we can have this recycler view, right? And for that recycler view, which will be a recycler view, we want to find this thing by ID. Whatever the ID we have given is like details rv, right? So do it like r dot id dot details rv. This will find our recycler view, and after that we want to add the adapter to this. So just write recycler view dot adapter, and in here write like what adapter we have created, like details rv adapter, right? After that, adapter needs a list, so we have a list, so we will just pass the list in here. And after that, uh, we want to use this has fixed size thing, right? Has fixed size, and after the fixed size, we want to like we will use a linear layout manager for that. So just add a value for displaying this thing, right? So linear layout manager, right? So this will be like this de- details add, as it is in a function, so we cannot just simply use the context as this, so we have to use the details this like that. And next we actually want to display this thing in horizontal manner, right? So we can do it like linear layout manager dot horizontal, right? And last thing, we want to add a boolean that will be a false, that we don't want to reverse this thing. And this will be it for the layout manager. And now we want to add the layout manager to the recycler view, right? So recycler view dot layout manager, and this will be like linear layout manager, and that will be it, I guess. Let's try and run our app. Let's see what is happening. So we have it, like, wait for a second, it's building. So it's our previous app, I guess. Still building. Well, yeah, right. So it will now go to install, and it is installed. So let's do it like we can just find Avengers like thing and use this button to have like a look at whether we are getting anything. Yeah, we are actually loading the image, right? That's pretty much cool thing, right? But we can see that IMDb rating is 0. So, and yeah, that's it, that we are successfully loading this thing in here, right? And we can again like go with the genre to check this out. So when the entire thing is 0, why this is happening? Maybe something is like, we can also see that if this thing is not containing any image, so our default image is getting loaded. So why not nothing is have a IMDb rating on that? Let's check this out. So we can just sort by, not by latest, I can say. We have a different sorting technique that will be like check this out, and it will say add highest rated. So we will use this sorting technique, right? That we want to sort the highest rated first. So go to this and paste this thing. Again run this thing. Let's hope for IMDb rating now. No IMDb rating yet. Are we missing something? Uh, okay, so the thing is we are using capital R instead of the small r, right? So again, just change this thing and hit enter. We can now, yeah, we have the IMDb ratings, so that's cool. Our app is like ready, I guess. A simple change that I want to make is like whenever the thing is loading, I want to show a progress bar, right? So for that, that is a simple thing. Just to go to the widgets, select a progress bar, try it over here, not in here. Actually, with the constant layout, mm, add it into the center by making all the constant into zero, and don't know. It's like, yeah, we have it in center right now. That is mm, a progress bar, right? The idea of progress bar. So we can just check for the visibility and set it as gone, I guess. Yeah, right. So initially this won't be like displaying in, and when it starts loading, right? So like whenever the search function is called, we can just have a value as progress bar, which will be a progress bar, right? It will give us error that we can just, so we can add it as a late init. That means that we will initialize this thing later on. So in our like set on, like here, just initialize this as progress bar is equals to find UIID r dot id dot uh, progress bar, right? And after the thing is like whenever we click on the search thing, so we just add the progress bar dot visibility is equals to visibility, like we're gonna just visible, it has view dot visible. And when we have a response and like our UI thread is working, we can just add it as progress bar dot visibility and make it again gone. So like, right, so this will add a like progress bar while we are doing that thing. Wait for it to load again. And yeah, we have our app ready almost. You say just let's check for the progress bar. So whenever we are clicking on that, we can see progress bar, and when it's loaded, progress bar is disappearing. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, that's it. Uh, so if you have any questions, then you can ask. Right, I will push the code in. Right. So over to you, Dijati. Are you available? Well, I don't think she is with us, I guess. So yeah, that's it. That's from the entire our like entire Android study jam sessions. So for any further ado, you can just ping me up for like anything you need, right? And yeah, you can just complete these tracks. We have a new navigation track coming in, so complete this before I guess before 25th of January, right? The second track for getting the certificates, right? And you can like do it later also, but the certificate won't be there for that. These tracks will be available like anytime you want, right? So yeah, that's pretty much of like pretty much of studies like how to like what how to percent the loader content in progress bar, right? So you can add there's a feature of adding percentage, right? So you can there's like progress bar dot set progress. You can just like whatever percentage you are wanting, so you can pass it as a integer into the progress bar dot set progress function, right? In OKSTP, I don't think so that uh, we have that progress thing, right? So in something that you have a like progress in, you can access that progress. So uh, you can just simply just add that progress bar dot add progress, right? Set progress into integer form, right? That's the question. Okay, Verma. Anything else? Anyone? Yeah. So Devyati is with us, I guess. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Harry.
Okay.
So
So I
yeah,
guess no one has any other questions.
yeah. I also think so.
Yeah. So let's wrap it up here. Thank you for joining,
Yeah.
everyone. Have a good night. Have a good evening. Chalo, tata, bye bye.
Okay. Bye.